Good afternoon. I'm here at Gulf Print and Pack exhibition, Dubai, and I'm here at the Packaging MEA stand. And I'm Ben Daniel. I'm the editor of Packaging Middle East magazine, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. George Simonian. Welcome, Dr. George.
It's a pleasure for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Dr. George Simonian is the Dean, Faculty of Design and Art. He's the Dean for the Faculty of Design and Art at Ahram Canadian University, and he also plays a very important role heading the digital division, or rather digital section for the Chamber of Commerce at Egypt, and quite a lot of other tags come with him. But I'm above all of that, I'm proud to say that he is the technology editor for Packaging MEA magazine. He writes articles for us, and very good, thought-provoking, informative articles for the packaging industry, particularly digital print for packaging. Yeah, Doctor, it's a pleasure.
Me, of course.
And
thank you very much for all this. It's a great pleasure to be here at the show and to be at your stand.
Thank
to
you.
Be with you, Mr. Ben.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best. We wish you a successful exhibition, and
Yes.
wish you all the success for your magazine and all the activities that you are doing. And we are very happy with that and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Doctor, if I can ask you about the current state of digital print when it comes to our region, Middle East and Africa, including Egypt, let's put it that way. So it was a little slow when it comes to the adoption of digital print in the packaging space, whether it's folding carton or labels, or to, let's say, even corrugation, which is slowly coming in. So you are specialized in this area. So what do you see about the future of this sector, which is digital print for packaging for our region?
Yes, that's a very good question. Of course, digital printing at the beginning, the adoption was a little bit slow. If we are talking about Egypt or most of the Middle East area, because all the people were grown up with the offset culture. And at the beginning, they were looking at these digital machines, like some people they are calling them like plastic copiers. But now, after all these innovations, all these developments, and the state-of-the-art machines with this kind of speed and quality, they're no more like that. So the adoption in the last maybe 5 to 7 years are very, very high. The speed is high. The numbers are increasing every day. And the thing is that the digital printing, the awareness is increasing. Because printers were thinking that these are slow machines, low quality machines. Now they can see that digital is providing, for example, a wider range of colors than even some offset printouts. On the other hand, the speed was an issue for packaging. They were always saying that packaging will print thousands of copies, millions of copies, and digital machines are slow. But now with the inkjet invading, of course, in this sector, the speeds are amazing. So we can see thousands of A4s per minute. So this is amazing. And they started to see where is the potential. For example, the main thing for digital, of course, is there is no pre-press, no plates, with all the time and money and cost and efforts going in that area. And again, if we talk environmentally, the waste is less. There is waste, of course, but it's less. We
Sure.
calculated is about 1.5% on a yearly basis. Compared to sheet-fed offset is nearly 4.5. With web is 7.5, 8 per year. And the paper cost, as you know, is very high now. This is another issue. And of course, the number one issue is the on-demand printing and with variable data. So you can test the market with several designs. You can go to the market within minutes. You can have different designs for the same product and let the customer decide which one is the best. So some people are trying to put from the same product with different designs on the same shelf, or we can use one design for a week, the second then another week, and see which one people are appealing more. So I think with all this, people are starting to see the advantages and the potential of digital printing. And I see that the future, I think it will be digital printing. Everything is in God's will, but I think digital is the future.
Excellent. And dwelling on the same point of digital print that you mentioned, we have many technologies, let's say inkjet, and toner based and memjet and a couple of other different technologies within this space. So each one has its own share of market in the market, but predominantly we see many are moving towards inkjet. So what's your take on this different technologies, and where do you see, especially from labels standpoint and folding carton standpoint? I know for POD, print on demand, and others, some specialized applications in those cut sheet sectors, you have a toner based, which is quite well proven. But speaking of packaging, where do you see which technology do you think as the future technology?
This is another good question, and by chance we just finished maybe the first Arabic book about inkjet, where we had the permission to use many parts of Professor Romano's book. Very kindly he offered us, and we put some additions on that. And we called the book, it's inkjet printing, and we called it the future of printing, in our opinion. And of course, in packaging, we are looking at inkjet will be the dominant technology in the very near future. But of course, digital started with the toner-based ones. Toner-based, they achieved excellent quality, excellent color gamut with 5, 6 colors, 7 colors, wide range of applications. But in our opinion, if we talk technically, you will have constraints on the speed. So if you look at the speed, you are always like maybe 100, 120, 130 per minute. That's the constraint, because you have so many things to be done. Of course, the exposure, of course, and then the developing with the toner, and then the transfer, the fusing stations. So speed-wise, there will be some constraints, and packaging needs volumes, needs speeds to be compared with flexo, gravure, and offset. So I think inkjet will provide that. It already provided. Inkjet has, of course, you don't have any contact, you don't have any pressure impression. It's just jetting ink from a distance. So many technologies there, but at the end of the day, with so many kind of inks, water-based inks, very useful for packaging. You have the UV curing inks that you can print on flexible packaging with a non-absorbent material. It will be dried completely within part of second. So I think the inkjet will be the dominant technology in the very near future, especially in the packaging. Of course, the toner base will be continuing, but maybe more in advertising, publishing, and maybe some folding carton applications, corrugated.
Sure.
But even for corrugated, we have seen at the show here that even the inkjet can go within all the valleys, and
Sure.
which is something great for it.
Excellent, excellent. Doctor, just tell me about your experience with digital technology when it comes to flexible materials. We are talking about labels, for example. Okay, many of the labels that are being printed to enhance the quality, generally in flexo, or let's say even for flexible packaging with roto, they generally, it's on flexo, I would say, they used white ink.
Yes.
In flexo, which is one of the colors which they use as a base, and then they go ahead.
Yes.
So, or they for enhancement later also they can use that. But we are speaking about digital, where you have the process colors, which is CMYK. Sometimes you go with two more colors, which is O and G, and white is coming up as another additional thing. But looking at the cost of the toner, looking at how white can be used as a base, where do you see white playing a role? Because cost versus value, there's a.
Very good.
So, what's your take on it?
Yes. I remembered something about 10 years ago. We did a market research about inks in Egypt, and we were shocked to see that the liquid ink is in volumes much higher than the paste ink. Although the number of printers at that time, Flex and Roto, were very few regarding with the offset. And when I asked what's the reason, it was the white color, because they said, imagine in offset, every single sheet you are covering solid white at the beginning. Imagine the quantity of ink you will use. So it's a huge cost issue. Now we have seen even all the toner based, they are using white, inkjet are using white, but this is another advantage of inkjet is the cost. The cost of ink in inkjet is much lower than toner based white. So this is another advantage for inkjet to invade that area. They will be able to put the white color cheaper than the toner based inks. But again, I see something very nice for inkjet also here at the show is the embellishment, adding value of the labels, as you said, because you need the white, you need the gold, you need silver, you need Pantone colors in packaging.
Sure.
So 4 color is not enough now. It's not enough.
Correct.
For chef shouting, it's not enough. So you should have more than 4 colors. And upon that is the embellishment. Like you can have lamination, you can have matte or glossy varnish, you have spot vernishing, variable data vernishing is amazing. And then the tactility. Tactility is important, where they can reach even to 1 millimeter. This is not available without any dyes and without any stamping, or this is another huge advantage for inkjet, that they can put layers, and you can have this, all kinds of embellishment. It will be there with variable data. It's something very important.
Thank you, Doctor. One last question,
Thank
if I
you
can
very
ask
much.
you about digital as a technology for most of the readers of our magazine, converters mainly. What's your message to them as they are slowly but surely moving into the digital space? Most of them are investing in their first machine as we speak now, or they have already invested, or they are investing, or they're planning to invest very soon. So what's your message to all these converters, both from the flexible space, which is labels and flexible packaging, and also from the carton space, which is folding carton and corrugation? So what's your message as the expert in digital print?
The thing is that as everything is changing, so our industry is changing. So we have to change with that. In the last few years, so many changes happened, so many innovations, so many new technology, and we have to be up to date as much as we can. So all the constraints about digital are gone now. The speed is there, the quality is there, the pricing is becoming much lower now. The cost, even for per print cost, with all the advantages we took, which is we are talking about, like the variable data, you don't have in other things. You don't have the plate cost and all this. You don't have pre-press. More sustainability is more there. Wider range of materials you can use, wider range of applications you can use. You can do many things. It's a very powerful thing. And even the personalized packaging, this is something we should look at in the near future. Many big companies, they succeeded in the campaigns when they did personalized packaging, to be honest. And this is a very powerful thing, because the customer feedback was amazing. Their loyalty is increasing. They feel that the company are taking care of them. They care about them. When you have something with your photo, with your children's photo, something with your name. So this is a very powerful thing. So in my opinion, of course, no one knows what will happen exactly, but only God knows. But the future is, I think, that for the next 5 to 10 years, it will be a huge market share for digital, especially the inkjet production machines in packaging. And maybe at, I can say, 2035, 2040, we will see, as it happened with toner and inkjet. The toner was here, inkjet started. Now inkjet is like 60-65%. So packaging will be the same. Of course, gravure and flexo will be still there. Like still we have typography, we have offset, but the market share will decrease definitely, because especially in gravure, when you talk, it's an excellent, amazing technology with amazing quality. But the cost of cylinders and the time and effort to prepare the cylinders in digital, with one button, you will have that with many more advantages. Flexo is, of course, enhancing extremely very high speeds of quality. Even the dots are much better. The color gamut, everything is becoming much better, but still it's a cost. You have plates, you have to change the plates, you have static printing, everything is the same. But with inkjet, you will have variable printing also with all these advantages. So in my opinion, within like 5-10 years, they will live together. And then by time inkjet will be the dominant. Still there will be flexo and troto, but inkjet will be the dominant. Because I'm always saying to our students that imagine one day, I'm from an offset background, so traditional printing is in my veins, but again, digital, we should, it's coming. So what will happen that with one button, very easy, very quickly, you will have wider color gamut very quickly with variable data, with special effects. So why you will go to the other things once this is mature enough and the cost is like reasonable enough. So that's my opinion.
Doctor, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
As always, to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you very much.